Welcome back. New guitar day. First we're going to make the cat disappear. Presto changeo. Abracadabra. So, we welcome you back to another edition of New Guitar Day. Today is August the 11th, 2022. We are in the middle of summer. It's 95 degrees outside today. It was 95 yesterday. Should be 95 tomorrow. The low last night was 73 degrees, so it's warm out there. Anyways, this guitar is a brand new guitar. It comes from Musician's Friend. It came from their West Coast warehouse, which is in Rialto, California. Took 4 days to get here, which is a beautiful thing. A couple things that are worth mentioning before we dig in. The box did have some UPS action. I don't know how that will affect. Again, whoever taped this box, abysmal job. Just really did a El Flaco, but at least from the outside it survived. So let me flip it over and bust the tape and let's take a look inside, shall we? And the first thing you will notice is there is absolutely no packing material in this box, which is a complete fail on their shipping department. Anybody who's anybody knows, even those that don't know, that rule number one when shipping a guitar is you want to mitigate movement. You don't want the guitar slopping around. You can imagine every time this box was moved, slap, slap. So I'm going to call them and mention fail, big fail. I'm assuming this is a brand new guitar because it came from the warehouse, although the staple here would indicate that someone's peered into it and we've got a tag that's missing here, so I don't know what that meant. But we will investigate further and see just exactly what it is that we've got. The serial number on this guitar is, it was made in December of 2021. It's 211215231112, and it shows date of manufacture as being December of 2021. Shipped to Nashville, Tennessee. So apparently it does go to Epiphone first, although they no longer put their inspected sticker on their guitar. They swear they inspect them. But I don't know. I'm not really convinced that they do. We'll be back with more thoughts and more unboxing. Okay, so we're back. We've taken it out of the outer box, which again was essentially meaningless because whoever packed it did just a really crappy job. So let's dig in and see if that had any negative effect. Let's add a little more light. Negative effect on the outcome of the product. Again, this is an Epiphone Casino Coupe with a cherry finish. It should only take a moment to free it from its shroud, as I'm prone to call it. So it has a biblical connotation to it. The shroud of Epiphone. Take the rubber band off, open it up, and we'll see what we get. And here we go. And it looks like a very lovely guitar. First impressions. Certainly looks nice. We're going to take a moment to give it a one-over. Again, giving the miserable packing job one might expect. The potential for some damage. I can only hope that there is no damage at all, and I'll explain that in a moment. Real quick, the fret ends feel delicious, well finished and rounded. We will check for the neck crack on the headstock. Nothing on that side. Nothing on that side. This cherry finish is moderately transparent, so you see some wood grain, which is really pretty. Sort of nice to be able to see that wood grain. It's only plywood, but hey, plywood has grain. Yeah, initial impressions are it passes the test. It's got a nice interesting streak. The Palfero fretboard is not quite as red as on my other one, but that's just, this is sort of peeling back here. I don't know what that indicates. If it's been in the hands of another, I can't really say. The pole pieces on the bridge pickup are sort of low, so I may do some adjusting there and see if that changes the tone at all. Action is always extremely high on the bass side of Epiphones, sort of a Epiphone trademark. I don't know if it's because the frets are uneven and they think that that will balance it out. I'm not really sure. So here's the funny story. Here's why it's really, really a good thing this guitar doesn't appear to have any damage upon first inspection. I first bought this guitar back in March of this year, 2022, and it was on back order. And they said that it would be in April. And April came and went. And I don't like things on back order, so I bailed. And so April turned into May, and May turned into June, and June turned into July, and July turned into August, and I had a notification request from Guitar Center. It's odd, Musician's Friend doesn't offer that, but Guitar Center does, but they're sisters, and so I got a notification last week that they had some of these in stock. And given that I had already bought a Casino Coupe, but it's a highly modified one, I thought, yeah, but then I went online and I looked, and for example, Sweetwater says that these are no longer available. I don't know what that means, if they're not making the cherry finish anymore. And no stores have them in stock at all. They're all on back order. So I was sort of hooing and hawing about whether I should get this or not. And then on Saturday, the 6th of August, I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and take a chance. So I went and called Guitar Center, and they looked in their computer system, and they showed that they had 9 of these. And I thought, well, how fast can they sell 9 of these? But I went ahead and I bought it anyways. By Monday, they were all sold out. And now they don't even show these as available. They don't even show them as that you can back order them. So I don't know if that means, and that's in Sunburst and Cherry. So I don't know if the Casino Coupe has been discontinued, or just the mayhem of the pandemic and the shipping chain crisis. Again, this one was made in December of 21, so I don't know if it sat in the factory for a few months or if it was loaded out immediately and has been bobbing around in a shipping container. I don't know, but anyways, I'm glad I bought it thus far. I'm going to go play it. I'll be back with further impressions. So stay tuned for further impressions. Okay, I'm back. It's a little later in the evening. I've played this guitar for a good solid 2 hours. And so let me blather on a little bit about a few of my thoughts. It's a very nice guitar. The fit and the finish are top notch. It's built well. It's put together well. I found no flaws at all. That's not to say that there aren't any. Things could potentially be discovered down the road, but that being said, the reason why I'm glad I got this guitar is, unlike many other guitars, many people make Strat style guitars or Les Paul style guitars or ES335 style guitars. This guitar is immensely unique. The Epiphone Casino does have a sister guitar in the Gibson line, which is the ES330, which had 2 iterations. The original one had the neck went deeper into the body, and then later on they did what they did on this guitar so that you had more access to the higher frets. But I do believe that the Casino Coupe is the only fully hollow body 339 style / 335 style, 330 style, 335 style, but you know, the double horns hollow body guitar. So it is unique. It's all by itself. Nobody makes a guitar like this as far as I know. It would be a shame if they discontinued it. it would equally be a shame if they discontinued it in Cherry. Maybe they've kept the sunburst, I don't know. Like I said, Sweetwater shows the sunburst on back order. Musician's Friend and Guitar Center show not available, so I don't know what that means. But at the same time, if you call them, they say they're on back order and they're supposed to be in February of 2023. I have no idea what that means. The guitar plays very nice. Another thing that puzzles me is that the casinos get the Epiphone P90 Dog Ear Classic pickups, which according to everything that I've read are a much hotter pickup, which would indicate nothing classic about them at all. On the other hand, the Epiphone Casino Worn comes with P90 Pro pickups, which are much lower output, which would be much more similar to what was on the original Casino. So I don't know what their thinking is. Who knows? Also, this does not have the inspired by Gibson CTS pots, I don't think. And I say that not based on sound, because I don't know what the CTS brings sound-wise, but the resistance on these is much easier. The CTS pots on two of the guitars that I have, much more resistance. Now, I actually prefer an easier moving knob, and I don't know if over time the CTS pots will loosen up. Time will tell. The fingerboard on this guitar looks more like Indian Laurel to me, although they say it's Pau Ferro. Wood being wood, it's not a consistent product. Different trees, different environments, different. Plays fine, feels fine, looks great, does what it's supposed to do. Again, I did mention earlier that the fret ends on this guitar finished perfectly. It's interesting because I have the Epiphone 59 Joe Bonamassa Les Paul, and the frets aren't as nice on that, and it costs twice as much. So again, quality control is always something that makes your head spin. It's like, why didn't they catch that? The Bonamassa guitar is not their most expensive, but it's up in that most expensive stratosphere of Epiphone guitars. You'd think that they would have taken the time to make sure that that one was absolutely right. They're not sharp, they're just not finished as nice. This one is just smooth as butter all the way up. So overall impressions, it's a nice guitar. It does sound different than the Casino Worn, partially because the body's a little smaller, partially because the pickups are a different configuration. But different's good. You know, if I wanted the same thing, then I would just have one guitar. The fact is I sort of look to different guitars to have different qualities to them, and so this provides some different qualities. And given that they sold out of these, again, they may come back and sell 1 billion more, and that won't mean anything. But if this was the end of an era, if they don't make the Coupe anymore, or they don't make it in Cherry, sort of nice that I grabbed one while I could. So, I will be back in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'll play this every day for a month. That'll be the true test of what I think about it, because initial impressions don't always add up in the long run. So we will see. So again, today's date is August the 11th, 2022, middle of summer. It's been a hot summer here in Great Falls, Montana. When we're in the middle of winter, I'll look back longingly at the warm days, but right now it's just sort of like another hot day. So that's how it goes. Anyways, I appreciate you joining me. We're getting close to the end. There's really not a lot of guitars that I want. I've been incredibly busy the last 5 years. I have bought and sold. This is my 73rd guitar that I have bought. I don't have 73. I currently only have 18 guitars, so that shows that I've turned over a lot of them. If I don't really like them, they go. And I have a few that will end up going because I like them, but I don't like them that much. But you never know until you buy it. And yeah, since I do all my shopping online, I've got to get it in my hand and put some playing time on it, which makes sense because when you're in the guitar store, you may think you really like a guitar after playing it 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. When you really know that you like a guitar is a week, a month, 5 months later. Is it still doing it for you? Do you really like it? And I try to get a good enough deal on these guitars that I can turn around and sell them for at least what I paid for them. Given that I've used them, I try to take really good care of them so that they're in really good shape and the next person who buys it feels like they got a good deal, which they probably did. So, thank you for joining me. Hope that your summer's treating you well, and likely when I come back we'll be in the throes of autumn, and I will report as such. Thank you very much. Welcome back, everybody. It is September the 16th, 2022. It has been 5 weeks and 1 day since this guitar landed on my front porch, and I have played it for 3 hours every single day of those 5 weeks and 1 day to get to know this guitar, so that when I came back for part 2 of the video, I could give you my honest opinion, and I'm very, very pleased and impressed with this guitar. As you know from earlier videos, I do have a highly customized Epiphone Casino Coupe, the one with the P93 setup on it, and I still haven't quite figured out how to dial that one in. Love the guitar. I think it's a pretty guitar, plays great. Can't quite get the sound to where I want it. This guitar, on the other hand, dialed in really quick, and it's just a very pleasing guitar from all aspects. I may or may not have mentioned previously that a couple of years ago I had an Epiphone ES339 Pro, which has the center block running down it, and I liked that guitar a lot, but it just didn't quite make the connection, so that guitar got sold. This guitar, on the other hand, and what's nice about this guitar is nobody else makes a guitar like this. No one else makes a smaller body ES guitar that's fully hollow. So there's just a really unique quality to this guitar. And again, the fit and the finish on this guitar was almost flawless. I did discover a flaw about 2 weeks after having it. I couldn't see it with my eye, but I could feel it, and it's a tiny little blister or bubble in the paint on the lower horn. Insignificant. I mean, even if the worst case scenario, if it actually pops and it chips or it cracks, I'll just cover it up with some clear nail polish, and it'll be fine, because it's just going to be a small visual. But other than that, this guitar, you know, the typical Epiphone sends their guitars out with the action way too high, but that was fixed in about 30 seconds. No buzz, no choke out. I have not used a fret rocker on this or any guitar I've ever had. I just sort of play it, and if it doesn't choke out and buzz, I assume that the frets are level. The fret ends were smooth as glass. Couldn't have done a better job there. The finish is really nice. It's a slightly translucent finish. You don't see a lot of wood grain through it, but you know, it's plywood, so I don't expect that you're going to have, unless they put a veneer on top that's flamed, you don't really expect to see a lot of, you know, beautiful wood. My least favorite aspect of this and most Epiphone's guitars is the slim taper D neck. It's not my favorite neck, but after you play it for a while and you get used to it, it's fine. You can get used to almost anything, so that's that. So anyways, I never recommend guitars because only you know what's right for you, but if this is the kind of guitar you think you might like, I think I also mentioned in the earlier video, these are not available anywhere in the cherry finish. According to Sweetwater, they're not available at all. Sweetwater's got some in the vintage sunburst, which is a fine color. I wanted a cherry just because the second electric guitar I ever had back in the 70s was a Gibson ES335 in cherry, so I had sort of a soft spot for the cherry finish, and it's a classic Chuck Berry, you know, finish for an ES guitar, but it's a beautiful finish. Don't love the white pickguard, but again, this is just nitpicking visuals. I'd rather have a cream-colored pickguard. I immediately took the gaudy plastic E off of the pickguard. The controls, again, I don't think this guitar had the, you know, inspired by Gibson treatment. I don't think it has CTS pots or Switchcraft switch or jack. I don't know what the pickups are. I think these might be the classic. A lot of people said on the full-size Casino that the classic pickups were dull and lifeless. These are incredibly bright, articulate, a lot of control when you hit the potentiometer and take it down. It drops takes the treble away, adds. So not only do I have no complaints, I have praise, praise, praise for the Epiphone Casino Coupe, the smaller sized casino. The only other thing that I think is interesting or odd about this guitar, and I'm sure the designers had a reason behind it, but that they didn't push the neck down in the body the way that they do on the regular casino. Maybe it's just because the body's shorter and the pickups would have been way too close to each other. Anyways, so you have all that extra reach because I think it goes up to the 16th fret. Let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 16, 17 fret. So the playability on it is more versatile than it is on the casino, although I thoroughly enjoy the full-size casino. So anyways, I have another guitar potentially coming tomorrow if FedEx doesn't keep jacking me around and moving the date around, which is why I wanted to finish this tape up so that I could put it together and get it out there. Yeah, so again, summer, at least up here in Montana, seems to have gone away. We're now in nice, cool, rainy, early autumn, even though summer doesn't begin till the 22nd, but sometimes autumn starts early here and ends even quicker. There's a slight prediction of snow next Thursday, which wouldn't surprise me. End of September snow, certainly nothing unusual up here. Anyways, I hope everyone's doing well, playing your guitar. Yeah, I highly recommend this guitar. For me, it just really fits the bill. It's a really sweet guitar. So once again, thank you for joining me on my new guitar adventures. And again, we will be back soon with another new guitar. I won't even tease you with what it is. Yeah, we'll just wait and see. It's always fun. It's always a surprise. Who doesn't love a new guitar day? I know everyone who would bother to take the time to watch this video is probably similar to me in that way. And yeah, for the price, again, this guitar, they're still selling at $4.99, which I think is a bargain. It's well built. Epiphones have definitely come a long way. I mean, you can always potentially get a dog, but consistently I've been getting really good Epiphones, put together really well, fit and finish nice. So there you go. So we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.